you're a $2 or $3 or $4 or $5 million business, you're fighting to survive every single day. And pretty soon AI will make phone calls for you, it'll answer the phone for you, it'll set the appointment, it'll run everything. This is why we're really putting a lot of attention on it.
If you don't have ChatGPT on your phone, I think you don't know what YouTube TV is. You know what I'm saying? So you should have it on your phone. I know for a fact Grant Cardone does.
Yeah, I got it on my phone.
In fact, the last time I had dinner with him at Milken last year, he was like, hey, look, have you seen this thing? And I'm like, yeah, I use it. And he was discovering it. But you should have it on your phone. You should use it. You should be playing around with it, and you should be encouraging. If you have kids at home, to be using it and learning it. It's only getting better, and it's not perfect. You can't take it. But what you have to understand about that technology is it's self-correcting, it's self-healing, and it'll only get better and more accurate and more timely. So in that space, there's so much going on there. You know, it'll do financial analysis for you. If you're going to meet someone, you can ask the ChatGPT, what do them and I have in common, and get that ahead of the dinner or lunch or whatever it is, or the customer. You know, what's most important. I mean, there's so many things you can begin to start feeding into it, and you'll find out what works well and what doesn't work that well. And then you keep using it and you'll see it gets better and better and better. So yeah, I would encourage everyone to begin embracing it. You're gonna see it embedded in all the applications that you use on a daily basis. Every technology company is trying to catch up to it. It's ahead. It's one of the few times in the world ever where the technology is so far ahead of the platforms. Usually the platforms are ahead of the technology, but not in this instance. In this instance, the technology is way ahead. The funny thing is, it's not a new technology. It's been around a long time. AI and the ability to have that type of technology has been around for a couple decades. But now we're all in a position to be able to leverage it and take advantage of it.
For example, initiatives inside of Cardone Ventures are Revified, now has AI. We rolled it out with AI probably 6 months ago. So things like sales automation, letter building, newsletter capabilities, and advancing it to where you could literally drop in financials and then ask it to go out and what are the model financials that you should have to optimize. There's so many different things that it's moving to. So Nitty, that dude we met with 7 months ago so that we could the AI guy that was part of building Siri. Yeah. So he came in, he wanted a joint venture on small business with us. We were in the middle of negotiations with him, and then he got a $250 million offer and sold. Like, it happened that fast. This is an interesting place everything's going to.
We're going quickly too.
And it's going quickly. And pretty soon AI will make phone calls for you, it'll answer the phone for you, it'll set the appointments, it'll trigger sending letters and emails and text messages out for you. It'll run everything. It's already going there, but then you gotta know what to do with that. And your competition, this is why we're really putting a lot of attention on it, because if we can continue to advance that and figure it out for our businesses, we can get way ahead of the curve. Imagine you hire employees, you ask AI to train your team, and they actually have to role play with Brandon until they can get through the top 20 objections. And then Brandon sends you an email that says, hey Brandon, these guys were able to dominate, and you're like, okay, now you can get on the phone, right? And then it knew they were already getting there, so it went out and grabbed the list of the 500 leads that came in, and it reached out to those people, and it already scheduled a calendar for them to talk to them, and then it gave you a scoring after the phone call as how well they did on the call. Maybe it jumped in and helped out a little bit. Hey, this is Brandon, I'm training my guy in. It's not me, it's my AI bot, Brandon. It's gonna like, where and how far does it go? But as a small business owner, if you're not participating, and you can't fund, here's why being part of this is so important in my mind. If you're a $2 or $3 or $4 or $5 million business, you're fighting to survive every single day. You don't have the time to stop all that and go over and fund and practice, and you can use the applications that directly drive your business. But the bigger context and picture of how to make it a macro thing for your business, I think we have an opportunity to lead the way on that for the small business space, because we're having your financials every month, we're talking to you guys every week, force scoring everything going on in the business. So those commonalities, we can start building resources around them versus all by yourself trying to figure it out.